record. I'll be posting a recording of the last sprint planning as well, and I don't know what our we don't seem to have a standard operating procedure here. I know TEC records and posts all of their meetings for transparency, and I don't think it would hurt for us to do that if nobody has any objections. But I need to record them anyway so I can keep track of everything. So we're waiting for people to talk about the biz dev, right? So I was hoping and then I'll shut up and let everybody else talk for the rest of however long it takes. I was hoping that someone could explain the xCOMB burning thing, because I didn't really realize, and it didn't really connect because I'm not that deep into the DeFi end of things so much, but is my understanding correct that part of the fees from HoneySwap, part of the fees that would normally be going into the common pool, are used to buy back peak or xCOMB to burn? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, kind of there is a exact there is what do you call Honeymaker contract, which is taking the fees from those 0.3 percentages. It's taking 0.05, and that is then split. With half of that, there is it's both. It buys honey and puts it to the common pool, and half of that it buys, the other half it buys 50% buys xCOMB and then put it back to rewards, and 50% is getting burnt. 50% is being sent to another contract, which then by different bot is being burnt afterwards. So
Okay. Yeah,
that's kind of far off. I think it's explained a bit in the probably not a bit, but yeah, it's explained in the wiki how exactly it works. But technically, I'm not I know that the bot, there was some problem with the actual bot, and some of the burning didn't happen because of some reverted errors. So yeah, I'm not. After that, I don't know. I only know that there were some problems with the burning process, and that sometimes it didn't burn, and
they're taking care of
that
it
can
now.
be still burnt.
Yeah. It's getting set aside. It's not in circulation. It's being pulled out of circulation.
Yep.
There's some kind of transactions issue.
I mean, it's still in circulation, but it's being set aside. It's waiting to be burnt.
Right. Oh yeah. Because yeah. Excellent. Okay. Yeah. My big thing was how are we paying for that? And now I'm understanding a little bit more about what's going on with the general sentiment. It looks like, gosh, I hope we have people from outside of Tulip here. All right, Monstro, were you ready to take the floor and talk about what you and Doge got going on, or not you and Doge? What you got going on?
I can't talk.
Oh, dude. Okay, you're cool.
Yeah, personal problems.
That's fine.
Sorry, can someone share share their screen with the agenda on it, please? That'd be super awesome.
Yeah, let me drop it into a doc for you. It's in. I just dropped it in the general channel. We've been doing things.
Maybe it's better to drop in Cafe actual channel.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Okay, I'll just copy paste into Cafe. Okay, because it's not that big. All right. Oh no, did I just post it in general again? I just posted it in general again. Damn it. I just moved into the Cafe channel and posted in general like a dork. All right.
Cool.
Man, me and Tech are not having a good relationship this week. All right.
It's all good, man. It's all good. It's all good.
So I set aside a lot of time for you guys to talk about the biz dev stuff you got going on. So are we going to talk about the biz dev stuff?
Seems no one right I have something to say, but I will start for now. I can start this point monstrosity propose like for this multiple rewards pools, because right now I don't see backend devs. I think only Hernando and Greenhorn are the backend maybe. I don't know if Hernando is front end, I think maybe, I'm not sure. But we have no problem because more and more projects we approaching to them, and they are asking if we can give to them like some kind of farms with multiple rewards. They give us some amount of their token, and we gave to them in that pool other part of tokens. But right now on Honeycomb wallet we don't have that staking contract with multiple rewards in same or dual rewards. Right now we only have like a single staking token, and that's right now a big problem. We thought I think Meta monstrosity Stonky is not there. So that Phil from Tulip said that there is possible way to make like multiple single staking pools, but right now I don't see him right now here on Tulip to a bit more explain about that.
Yeah, I can tell about that more. Like the idea is to create partnerships with other projects in a way to bootstrap the farms and to get to that to get some DAOs with their tokens, but also like the ones that can contribute to our farms can get their better pair allocations. For example, they can choose their pair. Let's say we talked with Shapeshift with Fox. They voted on their pair with Fox XDAI, and like we can change the allocations of the farms to satisfy that in this moment, because we are not like owning xCOMB. It's just is set aside in the contracts, and it's pretty much the whole process is automated right now. The only maneuver we can do is like reallocate the points. Actually, like we can remove, for example, we have a pair like XDAI USDC, which is like rewarded. We can, let's say, we can remove the allocations of xCOMB to that pair, and like we can set allocations to other pairs that are, and in exchange, like folks want to reward with Fox token, and we can do that with we have two options to do that. Like the first one idea was like I said, like we can give like xCOMB to their pair, and then the xCOMB they can stake it to a pool, which is a single pool for xCOMB, and when they stake that xCOMB there on the Fox pool, they get rewards as in Fox tokens. So that's one. We can that's the simplest solution, just because we don't have to make new contracts and audit them with multiple rewards, because we didn't had those contracts with multiple rewards. The other solution is to build new contracts with multiple rewards, audit them, and set it as like as decentralized as possible, so other projects can come and they can like set rewards to those pool by themselves, but we can help them out as well. Like we can make partnership. Let's say we will say, okay, we want to make Honey, Agave, xCOMB, and Fox, and we put all the 4 tokens in smaller, or even stake. Like we can put in the same pool all, and the smart contracts will need to like have allocation, and they can reward in 5 tokens, let's say. So that's the second idea, which is we take more time, but I don't think we have time for that one. But maybe for, let's say, for Honeycomb V2, we can work to make those smart contracts and then offer those additional rewards, multiple rewards. So the first idea is simplest, like just redeploying the contracts we already have for Honeycomb, but make them like available for single staking xCOMB, and then like have different pools with other tokens like stake, honey, agave. We can, and that's why that's how we can push the price of xCOMB to be, and like the xCOMB will have more use case, and people will stop selling it. When that happens, the API will naturally go up on the farms. So in short, that was the idea around my idea about how do we solve the farming and raising the API.
Okay, and I'm not going to try to start a deep discussion about this. I've done that enough. But in order to redeploy the farms, we do have to unlock them, right?
No, not actually. Like
Oh.
we can for sure give option to unlock the farms. That's not a discussion. Like I was just trying to explain the reallocations of the points
right,
of the
right.
farms.
But you're talking about redeploying the farms, so we don't have to unlock them to redeploy them. We can just, that's a whole different thing.
We will have to actually not redeploy the existing farms, but reallocate the points to the pairs. And then deploy new farms for single staking xCOMB token.
Excellent.
So we will have additional pools that you can use to stake your xCOMB token, which you are getting. And then if we change too much the pairs, like we can of course give option. We can ask the people to like unlock or something the liquidity so they can like rebalance or stuff like that, but we don't have to redeploy nothing. We just have to make additional deployments with the same contracts for xCOMB with different pools.
Yep.
You know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sure.
Awesome.
I mean, that's how I see it. I'm not so technical. Probably we'll have to talk with Philogy, who set up, or with other developer that understands the whole system, but I don't see a reason that we have to like redeploy everything from scratch. I don't see why we should do that.
Do we have anyone on the call who's actually working on the farms themselves from a development perspective?
Nope. That's the problem. That's the problem, because we don't have devs from Tulip, who is the standard members there. That's the problem of this whole problem happening on Honeycomb and Honeycomb.
Okay. So yeah. Because the reason why I ask is because I remember seeing something in one of these other channels. I can't remember where it was specifically, and I'm not sure if it was related to the issue that we're talking about now, about not being able to create a vote to do some stuff. I could help out with that, but I kind of need to know exactly what needs to be done, and I probably need to speak to someone a bit more technical about it. So
right now, I think the only person you can speak about that, if you can help in some way, is the Philogy, because he made the contracts with help with Will, and I don't know who else helped about that. I know Philogy, Will, and I don't know PX was the developer for Subgraph, but right now I don't see anyone from that time here on this call.
Okay.
Maybe Fernando can help. I know he did some work there, but I don't know. Oh, here's Phil. Here's Phil.
Not familiar with the farms. Sorry.
Okay. Phil, you're here?
Hey.
Hey, man.
Hey, Phil, how's it going?
I'm good. How about you guys? And gals?
Nice. Okay, so
Okay, so
Yeah, go ahead, Meta.
I feel
probably...
like what Green Hornet was asking about was the actual transferring the authority of the over the farm locking to the decision contract. I think is what Green Hornet was talking about. And if you look on the Tulip Swarm channel on the OneHive server, here, let me screen share. Then I guess it's not gonna let me, never mind. That Luke and Will and Gabby are working on it, I think, is what it looks like to me.
Yeah, that's what it was. I just couldn't remember where it was, to be honest with you, so I wasn't sure if it was related.
Yeah,
but,
I mean, and I'm happy you're here, Philogy. Let me see. No, I'm not seeing you on the list. But oh, did he? Yeah, okay. But I mean, I don't think Philogy should have to do absolutely everything. There are actually other people who can do things. All right, go on, you guys. Were we done? We weren't done talking about.
Yeah, the question we were discussing, Phil, about the single staking XCOMB farms. So there are questions that about it. Like I was explaining the whole process, how we can solve a bit the liquidity problems we have with the farms, and how we can work with some partnerships and get more rewards in Honeycomb with single staking rewards. The workaround would be, like we discussed yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago, you said that we will need to deploy the same contracts, but for single staking. But we won't have, do we have to redeploy the existing farms or not? Like, I think, in my opinion, we don't have to, we just need to change the allocations of the pairs. If we want to do that, like, can we make like a list with pair allocations and rebalance or reallocate the points when we take a decision on how can that be done?
Right, so let me understand what we're trying to do. So the idea is that people will deposit xCOMB tokens alone into the farm, and then based on that earn rewards in multiple different coins, or liquidity tokens into the farm with xCOMB and a partner token and earn partner rewards.
Sure. I will explain one more time because you were not here. So the idea is, like, let's say we have a pair. Let's say it's Honey XDAI. And okay, let's say we will have we are talking about partnership with Shapeshift, they are having Fox token. And let's say we make a partnership with them. They agree to provide Fox token as rewards for single staking xCOMB. So we will add like more rewards to their Fox XDAI pair on Honeycomb. So we will reallocate bigger points to their farm, and we will need to deploy a single staking pool for xCOMB that will reward Fox tokens. That's the first thing. The second, that's the first idea. The second idea is like we can have we can deploy we can stake the liquidity of Fox XDAI to receive Fox token as a new staking pool in Fox tokens, and they would then have to stake that, but they cannot stake that because it's NFT right afterwards. So that they cannot receive both of the rewards in that case, right?
No, staking the NFT would actually work. The problem is earning multiple rewards, because the way the farms work now is at least you deposit a token and then you can earn one type of reward.
Yeah, but
so
if
we have
you
to
can
make a special contract that allows you to earn multiple rewards for a single input token.
Yeah. But if you stake it like 2 times, like in 2 pools, then it can be earning like 2 rewards from two separate pools, right?
Yeah, but they would have to be in different farms, because every farm has its own reward token.
Yeah, in different farms. That was so I'm like seeing the result for this, like, because we can have like stake incentives with the xDAI. We can talk with them. They can provide xDAI stake token for incentives, like they provided for sushi. And what is the best workaround we've come to is like, probably the easiest one is just to create single staking pools with different rewards with the same contracts, but just for xCOMB. That's like the simplest one. But I'm not sure if it's the best one, you know. So let's say we stake our like LPs, we get to stake and get xCOMB as reward for each of the pairs that are in the farms now, right? We get xCOMB, and then we take that xCOMB and we stake it to different pool, whether that would be separate pools, like we can have like 4 pools with different tokens, and people will decide what they want to stake for. Like they can stake 20% of their xCOMB portfolio for stake. They can stake for honey. They can stake for agave or anything that is available on those farms, you know, or fox.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably better to give people the choice how they want to split their xCOMB, because it can also get quite annoying if you have like 4 different tokens of rewards and then you have to sell them individually for something else.
Yeah, so that is how it will circulate. Like everyone's get xCOMB, then xCOMB can be single staked to get additional like rewards, and then those rewards they can put again in the farms to the pair that they want. Like they can pretty much, it can has a good circulation of rewards, and I see that like that. Probably the API of the comp will start growing, liquidity should start growing, and then like also the pairs should start growing because they're receiving rewards, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, and I understand things wrong so much.
Because API is getting just lower because everyone is selling. Like, how do we stop that? We need to find some mechanism.
Yeah. No, but my understanding was that the xCOMB was going to be single staked, and then there were going to be multiple different coins that were going to be rewarded on that one staking thing, and that somebody was coding that. But that
not just that can be like in future, but for now I think the fastest way to do it is just use the existing contracts that Phil have built, and like he can set up the same ones for single staking xCOMB, and it will just work faster. But like if he wants to work on the multiple rewards, then we should give him some time, because like now that cannot be done so fast, you know.
Okay.
Like I don't know how. I mean, like I don't know. Like there's a whole bunch of other people who might have different opinions here, but it seems like this multiple rewards thing. Not only is it going to be extra work, but I don't even think it's even desirable. Like, why would you want that, right? Like, you think about it from a user's perspective. Say you've got all of these potential reward tokens, right? I'm still not even, to be honest with you, like I'm not even really sure of the mechanics and the incentives behind it. Like why like Fox or any other projects would want to be giving away their tokens because you're staking code. But just leave that aside for a minute. I'm sure there's like a really great reason there. But if I've got my COMB tokens, and like it's been mentioned already before, I don't necessarily want 4 tokens, right? I may want, like, if I say, okay, then there's these potential rewards, there might be Fox, there might be Honey, there might be whatever, I'm going to stake, like, if I've got these options, like, you should be able to stake and get the reward that you want back, right? And it seems like it's the lowest effort thing to do, and it just kind of makes the most sense anyway, right?
I was thinking the same. If I like interested in some project, like I can just, in a pool, I can just set the allocations to that pool, and it's just a choice in plus. But they still can split their tokens and stake them different pools with different. So if they want multiple rewards, they can have that. But if they want single rewards, they can also have that. So I think basically this option gives more flexibility, right? Just by having one reward, in a way, if it's set up like that.
What, Phil? What, like on the contract side? I guess it's pretty simple, right? Because the contracts are already written. On the front end side, how hard is that to implement currently on the front end?
I honestly don't know because I'm not really responsible for front-end development in OneHive, nor have I ever done it here for OneHive, so I'm not really sure what that would entail. But also from the smart contract side, I think it would still require some modification, or we could just use the MasterChef contract from Sushi because there's like some mechanisms we don't need or wouldn't want with the simple pools, I think.
Yeah.
With other tokens, because we have stuff like the linearly decreasing rewards, and then there's like the locking that apparently wasn't that useful that we might not want to use. So, and in that case, we can just use the Sushi MasterChef contract and just remove the migrate function.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so maybe we can ask Tivils about the front end. He's designing in Figma, and we can ask maybe like Striker. I see he's working on few things about hooking up the contracts afterwards on the front end. What are your thoughts, guys, about this?
Well, just I guess a slight correction. So the work I was going to do under the Tulip, I guess the recent Tulip funding proposal was a landing page for the DAO, so it's a little bit different. I'd be happy to, be a part of a conversation for front end, but I haven't put any thought or work into that, at least not at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I am definitely open to talking it over with anybody. Not a problem.
Awesome. Cool. So we can discuss
You guys
this
are like
later.
front-end engineers, right? So just for me to get like a general sense of like the effort that it requires, like, I mean, do you have like an idea about it? Like, how much effort do you think it would be to implement that on the front end side? Like time frame wise, even if it wasn't you particularly doing it.
Well, I definitely need to drill down and specifically look at some of the code, and then specifically what it is that needs to be displayed. I would need more details and to look at how everything is. As far as the components, the folders, everything's set up as far as hierarchy, the folder hierarchy of everything. Before I can, give you an answer, but it doesn't take too much.
I mean, if we're talking single-sided staking, you want a Figma on that, I could probably do that in a day. So just, give me a heads up and I can put something together using the existing Honeycomb designs from Boris.
Yeah, like let's say we will need like single staking pools, and it will be like probably like logos of the tokens with rewards and combined with xCOMB, something like that. Like rewarded the staked token would always be xCOMB, but the rewards will be different for each pool, and we'll need probably some things like APIs and. Okay, thank you, Divas.
Sure thing, man. Actually, we gotta head out mode. So you all have a good afternoon. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, man.
I wanted also to clarify that we from Buzz Swarm, we got like in few I think Monstrosity was the leader for this kind of making partnership with other projects, and I can say that we lost some of them because we didn't have that multiple pools with multiple rewards tokens, and now when we have chance to get I can say enough liquidity to pump even more some price like Honey or xCOMB, there is chance that they're gonna switch and leave us without chance to deposit liquidity from their side from mainnet. And there's a problem we have right now in Tulip that we don't have right now the active backenders who can help us make that as ASAP in short time. That's the problem. We keep losing projects, and they don't want to make partnership with us because of the lack of liquidity and lack of developing stuff here on one hive. Yes, we have a guidance which will be cool, but we need also to focus on Honeycomb wallet and Honeyswap. That's right now the problems we have right now in Tulip.
This might be a good, and if you do need, because it's 12:40 now, this might be a good segue for Green Hornet. Did you wanted to talk about something to do with Agave with Honeycomb, right? Or did you already?
Yeah, to be honest with you, it doesn't even look like there's I can mention what we're doing, but basically, Agave's launched recently. We've done a soft launch. Within a month or so, we're looking to do a liquidity mining program. It's going to be a bit different than anything that's done before. They're going to be something called KPI tokens. Essentially, how it's going to work is that we're going to be incentivizing people to obviously deposit into Agave, and depending on the metrics we hit, to say that we set the KPI was $10 million for argument's sake, and if we hit that $10 million, then the token that we will be giving out in this liquidity mining, it will expire. It will unlock a certain amount of Agave, and if it was less than that, it would unlock less Agave. What I wanted to discuss with the Tulip Swarm was the possibility of hosting that program on Tulip or on the Tulip wallet, but it seems there's not many developers here, and there's a whole bunch of other problems, and I wasn't really aware of all the problems that Tulip's been having recently anyway. So it's probably a bit a bit of a waste of everyone's time to discuss the possibility of that, because it probably isn't. And we'll just end up either doing it on Agave ourselves, or we'll have you swap or somebody else who's actually working on the project with us, essentially. I think it's probably since we haven't got that much time left, I think it'll probably be a good idea to talk about those the direction of Tulip, essentially. Probably get everyone's, because I understand there's a whole bunch of negative thoughts and comments in private chats about Tulip, and it's probably just best to speak about that now in the open.
I agree. Doge, you had said that you wanted to talk about something, and you're actually next on the list on because we already did the explain how xCOMB is bought back to burn, so that's cool.
I think more. I think Luke had some pick towards the xCOMB and the burning contract. I think he was discussing, I don't know which channel, but I think he had more information about that.
Oh, I was confusing. I'm so sorry. I meant we've already done that. So you wanted to talk about the pay, about how the pay structure is.
I can say something I don't want to offend anyone here who was developer or I don't know designer in Tulip on Tulip Discord, but I think we spent more money on this half when we launched xCOMB, Honeycomb wallet and farms, that I think we spent more money on this portal like from June, July, August, September, that we spent more money than on when we started farms. And I wanted to propose also, I think Solar can say something about that, that we need in some way to change when some developer, designer take some task in Tulip, that we need to create bounty with fixed amount in discussion with that contributor. And when he say, for example, I want, I don't know, 1K for that task, okay, we're gonna give 1K, but you have some timeline, for example, 1 month. Right now, right now what we have is that like every week someone do some work, but we don't see that work. Like we can see at GitHub, but at least I don't know from developer side, like on Tulip meeting, like let's show that code you like coded and explain to Tulip guys who are in Tulip, like I coded that, I made that, like I spent that much time for that. Like that's some kind of I'm getting like feeling that some of the people, I don't want to offend anyone, but it's like some kind of abusing of Tulip payments. And I wanted like to propose like some kind of changing that with from hourly rates to bounties, like have fixed amount, like some kind of timeline, maybe not, maybe yes, I don't know, and like who's gonna take the task. I wanted to say that. I don't know if Solar can say something about that also.
I haven't really been in Tulip. You know, I just got here and I've been project manager a week now. But I agree with you, Doge. And I haven't looked it back up through the pay thing. You know, I haven't like perused the sheet, and I didn't realize that there were these problems happening. I think a lot of what happens is people come on, do part of the work, get paid to do part of the work, they leave, and nobody knows what work got done. And I think the bounty system will also take care of that problem, and it'll take care of developer stickiness, because they'll have to like actually do the thing to get the pay, right? Open for more input, please.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, excuse me, Philgy, if you wanted to reply. I was just going to say, like, despite like devs are doing really all of them did great work in Tulip, but the main problem is like that they are like, we don't have like constant people working on improving the farms by themselves, and I think we lose time in like searching for new people that will contribute. But that is just a problem by itself, but it doesn't have to be a problem. Let's say I like the bounty system more because I also like the ticket system. It's nice, and the ticket by itself is a kind of a bounty, right? So when you resolve those small tasks there, you get paid for the task, and you say how, like you track your time, and you're paid by hour for that. But for the bigger tasks, like deploying the farms for single staking, for example, it makes sense to like, if we need something faster, to be like a bounty which can pay some premium. Let's say like it doesn't have to be per hour, but like if we want it faster, like if we decide that it's urgent or something like that, developers would need to leave everything to work on it. So it makes sense to be paid more for that, right?
Yeah, I kind of agree with that, like most of the stuff you said. I just wanted to just throw something out there. Like, doesn't Gardens kind of like fix a lot of this stuff? I mean, like, if you just have a garden and basically the votes are disputable, right? So you can submit your hours, you say you're going to work on a project, you get paid for that project, you try to withdraw funds from the DAO, and like, if you haven't actually done that, like, anyone in the DAO can just dispute like what you're claiming for. Like, doesn't that kind of solve that stuff essentially?
Yeah.
By the way, I haven't been like super deep because I'm kind of new to like what's going on here as well. I haven't really kept up with Tulip, so I'm not really even too sure like exactly what's happening and the stuff's happening. But like it seemed to me just looking from the outside in that you know the stuff that we've been building over the last year kind of like fixes this problem. But
Yeah, in theory, definitely it can be used like that. Although for the mini tasks, yeah, I'm not sure if like then it should be like for every task, we should have like a Celeste like proposal and then disputes. So it can be kind of complicated in a way, but yeah, I agree. Like it can be used for that as well.
like I mean,
It's
like
cool
just
idea.
like say that we had a DAO, right? You just had a DAO, and then you had
Yeah.
like people that's working in the DAO, and they literally just open a vote to claim what they've worked on and for the hours that they've worked on it, and said, okay, then I've done this.
Yeah.
And if they haven't done that, or they haven't done it to a standard, then it just
Yeah.
gets disputed.
Oh,
Yeah, very
Right?
like yeah, very cool
yeah. No, I understand what you're
application
saying,
for that
Maya.
idea.
Yeah. Okay. So we have some other in Green Hornet's a developer, just so everybody else knows. Do we have because we have some new people here? We have other developers in here. Are people cool with getting paid a bounty? Okay, and I'm going to say one of the advantages of the bounty is I believe we can set that up so that the bounty's available up front, right? So that we don't have this thing where all of a sudden there's no money to pay people for the hourly because the hourly went wacko because of things. So do the other developers are you cool with doing a bounty system for most of your work? Hi Luke, I'm happy you're here. Are you cool with doing a bounty system for most of your work? And hopefully you would be comfortable submitting your work in a Gardens DAO, or well, obviously Gardens, submitting your work to be I'm not exactly sure who all votes. Whoever's in the DAO votes, right? So that would be everybody who's in Tulip. Is that right? And would the developers be okay with that?
Personally, I think bounties are a great idea because number one, it means that your hourly rate is kind of variable and based on your performance, and you can potentially earn much more than just with a fixed hourly rate, especially if you're like a good dev. And yeah, as you said, it also has other advantages in terms of you're going to get paid because bounties have to be defined in advance and have to have like a concrete objective, so you know exactly not only what you have to be working on, but that it's like written down somewhere, because a lot of the tasks that are often like thrown around are like kind of unconcrete, or we should do this at some point, or we should do this at some point. And if we had bounties, we would have like a concrete list of tasks, and that's how much money you'd get if you complete the task. But yeah, and when it comes to keeping developers for longer, I think bounties alone are not enough. There should be like some other system conjoined with that, so that developers are also committed to stay long term with Honey. But that's a separate issue, maybe.
Yeah,
they're
like the
probably related
payroll,
as well.
like the payroll idea, which was discussed on the forum. I like that idea as well. For the long-term developers, you get to choose if you want to have preferred swarm and then like have a payroll in it.
All right. It sounds like we have some ideas to go over. Hi, Clip. And hi, everybody. I'm not trying to leave anybody out, of course. I feel like, okay, so Tulip funding proposal is just sitting there. What do we need to change? I feel like we've gone over a lot of that, and we don't have a lot of time left. And Green Hornet brought in being more actively involved with Gardens. I'm looking at the itinerary that's posted in the cafe. Use Gardens integrations for our future internal DAOs. Green Hornet brought that up and brought up some excellent points. We've just discussed that, and we've discussed realigning the payment structure. So this is this is me being fussy. We brought in new devs who haven't been paid for a couple of weeks, and we had discussed in the cafe call last Friday that we could submit a proposal just to get the past hours paid. Sheet. Let me see if I can screen share this.
Is that the same proposal which is like kind of almost passing now?
Oh, is it almost passing now? That's excellent to hear. It is. We had discussed if that proposal looked like it wasn't going to pass, doing a proposal just to get the past amount paid. The total unpaid is $62.55, which is, I believe, just under 20, honey. I will drop out. If we had also talked about transparency, and if we can move our main operations back over to OneHive server, I don't need to get paid to do project management anymore. I didn't submit any hours for this last week. I had no idea what was going on, and I am just really sorry about all of it. But okay, yeah, I'm rambling. I still apologize, guys. Do we want to leave the Tulip Swarm funding proposal up then, and then work this next week on pivoting to bounties?
I think if it's already close to passing, it's probably much easier to just try and get that proposal passed. It sounds like the kind of concerns are being addressed in terms of like figuring things out in general direction. So I don't know, it seems to me like it's just easier to pass the current proposal, but it might be worthwhile updating the forum posts to reflect that.
Okay. Excellent. Oh my God, I think we got through everything, you guys. I mean, everybody else is cool with that, right? We've got our new dev.
Can I add one? Can I add one more thing? Right, like
Please.
It's part question as well. Like, has the most of the disconcern with Tulip been primarily about pay? Is the direction thing about pay, or is it more also about like what exactly Tulip is doing, right? Like, is that what that is as well? Because I understand as well that yes, we're focusing a lot on farms as well right now, but like, what is like the future of HoneySwap itself? Is it just like, are we just here and we're just like focusing on farms, or are we going to be like focusing on HoneySwap be free and doing some innovation and these type of things, or like was the disconcern just about the pay essentially? Was it more about like the broader issue of like the purpose of Tulip and where it's going in the future? And what does anyone else think about that stuff?
Yeah, I think that the conversation that Luke just started in the forum is probably where those opinions are going to come up. And it sounds like the general kind of opinion of OneHive is that probably the Tulip Swarm is not as big of a priority compared to some of the other things that OneHive is working on. I think that's what I'm guessing that's what that kind of exercise that's getting started is going to end up telling us. And I think, like, personally, I see two possible paths for the Tulip Swarm. One being that Tulip merges with Gardens and becomes direct support for the work that Gardens is doing. Or also, I know this was mentioned at one point, and I don't know if it's been talked through, but Tulip could also start a Gardens DAO of its own, or its own separate DAO, if it wants to kind of keep funding itself, and it believes that it has a direction that will get people excited. those are personally the two directions that I see Tulip going.
Okay, awesome. I wasn't really aware of that blog post, of that forum post as well, so I'm gonna have a look at that also.
Oh, good. There's not a problem with Tulip being like a subsidiary of Gardens, is there? And I feel like that would do a lot to bring us in alignment with the community.
I mean, there was also talk about Tulip being a Moloch DAO. Like, I totally didn't understand that at all. Like, why would Tulip be spawning a Moloch DAO? We've got Gardens. Like, I'm really confused about that one as well.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of that.
Yeah, I guess my perspective, and I did open that forum post, and I've been kind of trying to organize my thoughts as a whole to share as a proposal, which hopefully I'll share soon. But I would encourage everybody to sort of think about that. But I think my my feeling on like the Tulip issue, besides kind of like getting a general sense that the dynamics in the group had sort of changed, and there's like it wasn't going as smoothly in that respect. And I don't really like put that just on payment or different people or general like direction. But I think that like we saw a forum post about like restructuring like Honeyswap and Honeycomb economics, and then we saw another forum post saying that like in order to be effective, we need to increase the like funding for the Tulip swarm and potentially have like 3/4 of like the total budget for the entire swarm. And it was kind of like, what's going on here? There's definitely something weird that like we need to kind of get on the same page for. And so I think for me, it felt like we needed to sort of take a step back, kind of figure out what we're all trying to do, figure out like what our resources are, and like focus on a single direction. So I don't know if it's specifically about Tulip or Gardens or how that all plays out or how everybody feels about that, but I think it's really important for us to go through this process of figuring that out before we just kind of go full steam ahead with kind of whatever the Tulip had planned before, because it seemed like there was definitely a disconnect there.
I can say, for example, like I'm gonna like repeat myself from 10 minutes ago that from the start, I know also Luke know that from the start when we started like researching about farms and that stuff, that first group like who I think Boris was designer, Buzz was about marketing, Fabio, I don't know who else was, Luke, Will, Philip G. There was a bunch of people, and they were actually doing good stuff. But now, when we finished like launching Honeyswap on Polygon, launching the farms on Polygon, like it's some kind of like we lost like effort. Like there's not much effort like upgrading more stuff to Honeyswap, upgrading farms and etc. Like I don't know how to say that, but like we're losing like liquidity. We don't like losing liquidity because we don't have any kind of upgrading upgrading stuff to Honeyswap farms or some other stuff. Like for example, the mostly what I saw from my side that mostly senior devs from front end, the back end are right now working on Garden, and that sounds okay. But like we're losing value on Honey, xCOMB, PCOMB. I don't know from where we're gonna like in 1-2 months gonna pay like other contributors. Like what's gonna happen like with that? Like I don't know. That's my question. What's gonna happen with like are we gonna leave like Honeycomb like that, like without upgrading stuff, like without upgrading farms? I don't know if someone can answer on that question, because that's my main and mostly question I want answer from anyone if someone no answer.
Yeah, I don't think there's any like direct answers to these type of questions. I think that I think it's like, I don't know. I think probably the rest of this is going to play out in forums, and a lot of thought is going to have to have been had by everybody, and have some like reasoned answers to those type of questions. But essentially, I think it kind of comes down to like figuring out exactly what Tulip is for. I mean, what is this stuff in aid of? What are we trying to build here? How is it serving the like? How is it tying in with everything else that we're doing at the moment, right? Like, it's great. Like, it's really, really awesome that we've got all these swarms, and you've got all these swarms doing different things. But it feels like to me that there isn't. Why is like everyone can do their own thing? Everyone's doing things at different corners. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of joined up thinking here. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of joined up effort here. So I think that is the real issue, and that you're seeing reflected in the price and stuff. So how people are going to get paid to do stuff is like, I think probably just thinking about exactly what stuff people want done and what like what we as a collective need to be done. And I feel like what Luke said, we probably need to have a bit of like step back a bit and think about, have a bit of a reset and think about what exactly we're doing here, and to answer those questions really. So that's just my perspective, outside of Tulip, not having done any work here really. So
Are we feeling like we're at the end? It's been a little over an hour. I mean, if people want to stay and discuss, I'm down with that too. I feel like a lot of good stuff's come out.
I've got to shoot. See you guys. I stayed a bit extra. I was getting headache and stuff, but it's probably been a bit of a difficult call, but I think it's a really good one. And yeah, see you guys soon.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Green Hornet. All right, bye guys.
Yeah, I arrived a bit late, but I think I'll be heading out too now.
Yep.
Bye,
Thank you
everyone.
for coming.
Sure, bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Everybody,
That too.
hope to see more conversation on the forum about this.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.